to show you how to make Applejack pie crust. Now this stuff is good on just about any type of pie, especially fruit pies, but feel free to use it on whatever you want. I guarantee it'll work. To start, we're going to need 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, a stick and a half of butter, or 12 tablespoons. We're going to need about 5 to 7 tablespoons of Laird's Applejack. Yes, this is an alcoholic beverage. It is a brandy, I believe. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, they used to make this stuff and sell it. They liked it. They liked the taste it gave. Now, for pie, pie is not just pie filling. It needs a crust to complement it. The crust should not just be some sort of thing which contains the filling. The crust has to have flavors which complement and boost the pie filling's flavor, which is why we're not using water today. Instead, we're using something which has apple flavor, and it'll boost the flavor of fruit pies. And finally, we will need 4½ tablespoons of Crisco vegetable shortening. And make sure that these 3 items right here, butter, Applejack, and Crisco, have been chilled in the icebox for an hour before you start. Alright, now we're going to take our 2 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour and put that into your local food processor. You're going to put your tablespoon of sugar and your teaspoon of salt in there as well. Firmly secure the lid and pulse about 4 or 5 times just to blend it all together. That should be good. Alright, now we've got our butter, chilled butter, and our chilled shortening. You should be asking, why are we using butter and shortening? Why can't we just use butter? Well, it's because whenever you use 2 different items which have the same purpose but have different melting temperatures, it's going to produce a flaky crust. This melts at a certain temperature, this melts at a different temperature. So in the oven, it's going to create different layers within the crust to make it nice and flaky. Put in your butter, which should be cubed. You're going to pulse that about 6 times, or until it looks mealy. Alright. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Shortening. 4 to 5 times. And you can see the stuff is starting to bind in there. See, it's getting a little firm there. Starting to hold together whenever you squeeze it. That's just what we're looking for. And last, but most certainly not least, we're going to take 5 tablespoons of our Applejack brandy. And before I put this in, let me say, another benefit this has, as opposed to water, other than flavoring, is that since this isn't water, it won't bind with the flour and create a gluten-y pie crust. Now that's good for things like cream pies, but for fruit pies you want a more tender pie crust, which Applejack does. So put 5 tablespoons in to start. Just mix that 4 or 5 times till it all seems to blend together. Then you want to test it with your hand, see if you can ball it together. If you can squeeze it all together into a ball that's firm, then it's good. Now see, this is still a bit flaky. The ball is still a bit flaky, so you want to add another tablespoon. Go tablespoon at a time, and you probably won't need no more than 7 tablespoons to reach your desired consistency. Okay, so this time I think I made a pie with about 6 tablespoons of Applejack. You can take it, squeeze it together, and it just barely crumbles. If it does, if it holds together nice and firm, then you probably added too much. You want a little bit of crumble in there. Once it's nice and cold, it won't do that no more, because we are going to chill this. So just dump this out on the table. It's better to dump it out than scoop it out so you don't cut your hand on this. That'd be bad, okay. And now you want to take all this and divide it into 2 even balls. 2 even shapes. And like I said, there will be a little bit of crumbling, but that's alright. You want a little bit of crumbling with your pie crust. Okay, there's a little left over. You can just pack that under the balls as you put them into their bags. Alright, put each of your pie balls into a large plastic bag. This will help for rolling it out later, and I will show you why in just a moment. Get the air out of there. And then we're going to put these in the ice box to chill for at the least 1 hour. But you could do more. You could do a whole night if you really need to. Oh, and evenly divide the crumbs amongst the pie dough too. Alright, now we're just going to take these pie balls and plop them in the ice box for an hour or more. Alright, now that our dough has chilled, we're ready to roll it out. And whenever you roll it out, no need to take it out of the bag. You can just leave it in there, start rolling it out in the bag. If when rolling this dough out you think that it's a bit too crumbly, you can just throw a few sprinkles of water or Applejack into there to firm it together. Gonna fill in all parts of the bag. Once you got the dough filled out in the bag, it's time for the magical part to happen. No need to difficultly try to sling that dough in there without breaking it. Just cut away the edges of the bag. Like so. Peel that back. Have your pie pan at the ready. Wrap it around there, and flip. And boom, you have your pie crust right into your pie pan at the ready. Isn't it beautiful? Then you just peel the bag away, and it should plop in there nice and set. There will be some pieces left on the bag, and of course because the bag is square and your pie pan is circle, you have to fill in some parts. But otherwise, it'll turn out nicely shaped. Well, that is how to make the Applejack pie crust. I'm Jake Steve. Thank you for watching a Bacon Jake Productions. And as always, have a great day.